Buy a smartphone with GoPhone and get one free when you activate required lines of service and both devices on a qualifying rate plan with a $45 refill. AT&T, mobilizing your world. Offer ends May 31st, 2016. Valid on select phones at AT&T company-owned stores, which require new line of service on purchased phone, and participating authorized retail stores, which require new lines of service on both. Both phones require minimum $45 per month rate plan and $45 refill at time of sale in same transaction. Free phone must be equal or lesser value. See store for details.
Blog Talk Radio.
Well, good evening, folks, and thank you for tuning in to another edition of True Conservative Radio. Of course, I'm your host, the man they call Ghost, and I thank you for tuning in with me. I'm broadcasting at another spontaneous time, and obviously we're still dealing with the damn technical difficulties associated with Blog Talk Radio, and that's exactly where we're broadcasting from, the Blog Talk Radio Network. I can't for the life of me get this darn chat room started, and that means I'm going to broadcast here for about 2 hours with no damn chat room, and I just can't do that. I'm not used to that. I'm used to interacting with the audience. I'm used to having audience participation in my particular show, and they are retarding me, folks. They are retarding me from doing that. The Blog Talk Radio Network will not let me get this damn chat started. And I'm trying, and I'm clicking off, and I'm trying again, and it doesn't want to do a damn thing. And I'm really sorry, folks. I really am sorry for not being able to, I guess, put up the chat room. It's actually not my fault. It's the Blog Talk Radio Network's fault. And let me tell you something that's really pissing me off, and I'm sorry that there is no chat room. I hope you'll tune in with me otherwise. I usually like audience participation. You can call me up at any time, folks. We got a whole switchboard of lines here, and we would like your audience participation. This is True Conservative Radio. The number is 646-652-4869 is the number to call. Give us a call right now. This is going to be a special show. Unfortunately, I wanted audience participation in this crap, and I can't get this damn chat room started. I mean, Blog Talk Radio, what in the blue hell are you doing? I'm just trying, to do a couple of broadcasts out here, and I understand, Blog Talk Radio, that you are giving us the venue and the opportunity to partake in this new medium, if you will, free of charge, of course, and you have a pretty generous revenue split and all that nonsense. But the bottom line is that it needs to work properly. I mean, you're prohibiting me from doing my job. Well, I don't know if you want to call it a job, but I mean, I do it so often now, and it's not basically for any type of monetary means. All right, I'm not doing this for no monetary. I'm not doing it for monetary purposes. Let's put it that way. I am doing this because I believe in America. I love the American Constitution. All right? I believe in the American people. That's why I get up on here and do this. But for just once, Blog Talk Radio, because you're really starting to chap my ass with all these technical difficulties that are happening on my show, okay? I don't appreciate it. I don't really like it very much, and I'd really appreciate it if you just stop messing with me here. I can't get my chat room started. I can't get my chat room started because we always have technical difficulties, and I'm sorry, folks. I know I love audience participation. I like when the audience participates, especially when the chat room's going on, but I cannot get the chat room going because of Blog Talk Radio Network. And I hate to keep bickering about the damn chat room, but that's a big part of the damn show, for Christ's sake. And I don't understand what's going to happen. I don't understand what these folks expect me to do out here. So I'm just going to continue on with the show. The show must go on. And I want to thank you for tuning in with me. I'm sorry, folks. There is no chat room. I cannot get the damn thing started. And the reason I can't get the damn thing started is because Blog Talk Radio technical difficulties is the reason. And it's ridiculous. It's just starting to really irritate me. I'm going to try to start it again, and of course it's going to give me the same damn problem. It's ridiculous. And I'm sorry, folks. It's a big part of the show. the chat room and all that, and I'm sorry. But let's go ahead and get on with the show. I thank you for tuning in with me otherwise. If you're tuning in with me right now without the chat room, and it's not my fault, technical difficulties on the Blog Talk Radio Network's side, and if you want to shoot them an email and chew their ear out, I'd be more than appreciative, if you will. But we're going to continue on with True Conservative Radio without the chat room. And I'm going to periodically continue to try to initiate a chat session here. And if it doesn't, give me one, I'm sorry. Now, I am in a point in my life where I just cannot stand going out in public anymore, folks. I can't stand going to the malls and, participating in, social arenas. I mean, it's just starting to really irk me, And the reason is because everyone out here in America, and I hate to say such a blanketed statement like that, like everybody in America, but, with all due respect, folks, everybody here in America is damn ignorant. Ignorant bastards all over. They flood the American landscape. And let me tell you, every time you run into a stupid moron, every time you run into a stupid person, and believe me, that's way too often in this day and age, it makes you wonder why in the blue hell and how in the blue hell did all this happen. I mean, the bottom line is, folks, we used to be a very intelligent people. I'm talking about folks in America. But because we have such a ridiculous government-funded public education system that has dumbed down American generations, we have liberal media that is embracing such nonsense as well, that are embracing ignorance. We got all these mediums that are basically trying to dumb us down, and I think we need to wake up from it, okay? And this is why the topic of the show, and I wish I had a damn chat room so I could hear people's responses to this crap, but unfortunately there is no chat room thanks to the technical difficulties of the Blog Talk Radio Network. But anyway, folks, the bottom line is that we need to start a crusade. And it's not nothing religious, okay? This has no religious significance. I'm talking about a crusade against ignorance, folks. Ignorant people. Ignorant people make me sick. And they're abundant, I mean, they are just all over the place. I mean, you can't even, go out and have yourself a cheeseburger at a local eatery without running into some dumb jerk-off that makes you want to puke up the cheeseburger you're guzzling down your damn pie hole. I mean, it just makes you sick. All the stupid people. Stupid people. And look, I'm not a liberal. You see, liberals will try to counter-argue what I'm saying here, and they'll say, well, you know what, Ghost? The only reason that they're ignorant is because of, a lack of opportunity or, whatever liberal excuse is going to happen. But the bottom line is, folks, is that right now we're living in a day and age where information is at our fingertips. We've got this one of the most brilliant technological tools, the computer, and it's hooked up to one of the greatest inventions that have created us into a closer community, and that is the Internet. The Internet is a billion and billion and billions of libraries at your fingertips. You can get books, you can get classical works, you can get commentary, you can get whatever you want on the Internet to, kind of well endow your knowledge base. But unfortunately, what are these people in America and technically worldwide, what are all these ignorant pieces of crap utilizing the Internet for? Becoming sexual deviants. Going out and looking for, kiddie porn and all this ridiculous nonsense. That's what they're utilizing this great technology for, folks. And you should be utilizing it to educate yourself. I know that this damn public education system over here, this public education system has dumbed you down so much that you think reading is the equivalent of getting a prostate exam with a damn billy club. And it's not, folks. Reading is actually a good thing. You can just sitting down on your ass, okay? I know everybody in America is just just fat and lazy nowadays. They don't want to do jack anymore. But you don't have to do nothing when you're reading, okay? All you got to do is sit on your fat ass, okay, and just read, okay? And if you don't know how to read, well, what in the blue hell are you doing in this country? All right? You need to get yourself to a local tutor or something and learn how to read, okay? I mean, the bottom line is that once you know how to read, you should have no excuse for being so damn ignorant. And what is ignorance, folks? I'm not talking about being some articulate Rhodes Scholar, you know, some brilliant Harvard graduate. That's not what I'm talking about. You don't have to be some brilliant, student. You don't need to be some honor student. You just have to have common sense. Okay, common sense is definitely a necessity when it comes down to getting rid of ignorance, if you will. Common sense and the ability and the motivation and the will to spread your, or not spread your knowledge, but expound your knowledge, if you will. Make it grow and grow like a computer. Every time you search for a new website, the computer's exposed to that and it stores it in its memory. Every time you download an MP3 to your computer, it stores it on its memory. Everything you do on a computer is stored on its memory. Well, that's what you should be doing when it comes down to learning. And let me tell you specific things to learn about, folks, because we don't all have to be brilliant at any specific thing, but one thing you need to understand, all of you people, and I'm going to try to continue to turn on this chat room. I'm sorry, folks, that, we don't have the chat room on here, but obviously we're having more technical difficulties at the Blog Talk Radio Network. But the one thing everyone needs to be educated on, be intelligent on, and that's the American government. The American government, folks, because it's your government, you piece of crap. I mean, it's your government. And anybody who is ignorant of their government is a stupid person, in my view. They deserve all the ridicule that comes their way because they are a stupid person. Because they don't know their government. I mean, remember, our forefathers gave us this government. It is our government, all right? It is for the people, by the people, all right? Remember that? And I'd like everybody right now to Google up the Constitution, print it out, and put it in your damn pocket. Because those are your unalienable rights that were given to you by your forefathers, you piece of crap. And I'm tired of these stupid, ignorant people. You go out in the society and you see them all over the place, shoveling food down their gullet like it's the damn Last Supper. These fat, jelly-ass people. I mean, look, I'm not against fat people, folks. Okay, that's the American way. That's why we spilt blood out here. That's why we fought wars, because we can do what we want to do. It's freedom. But if you're a fat, jelly-ass bastard, okay, and you're ignorant, well, then what use are you in life, okay? If you're an ignorant, fat, jelly-ass piece of crap. I mean, you really have to look at yourself. If you're a fat, jelly-ass bastard that's ignorant, you need to take a good look at yourself in the mirror. And you need to ask yourself, what is my purpose in life? What in the hell am I doing? What am I, a crap and fart machine and a pee machine? I mean, is that my role in life? Is just to regurgitate second harvest? It's ridiculous. And the only reason that I'm picking on people of girth, if you will, and there's nothing wrong with that, folks. Believe me, I got my fair share of girth too. But hey, I don't care, because I'm not an ignorant bastard. Okay, I'm not an ignorant bastard. And I'm out here doing my thing, okay? Everybody who's listening to my show knows what I do. But the reason I'm picking on the fat thing, folks, is because that seems to be all we're known for. Fat, ignorant pieces of trash is what we're known for in the international community. Now, I wouldn't mind being the fat, smart people. I mean, wouldn't you? I don't care. Hey, you know what, England? Hey, we're fat in the ass, but we're smarter than you three-tooth limeys. What do you think about that? Hey, France, you're sitting over here making fun of us. Well, look at us. We may be fat lard asses, but we're smart, you French frog piece of garbage. But no, you know what? They are laughing their asses off over there at the other part of the pond. And I'm talking about I don't mean to make general blanketed statements because I know there's a lot of foreign people that appreciate and admire the culture of the United States, but there's a lot of them that don't either. So, and groups are defined by their majority. And like I've always said, the groups are defined by their majority. But we need to get out of this ignorant rut we're in, folks. And you don't have to be an articulate intellectual not to be intelligent, not to know what you're talking about. And first and foremost, folks, we need to have common damn sense. And that's a lot of what the high school graduates that are coming out of high school now don't have. That's a lot of what the college graduates don't have. Common sense, folks, okay? That's what you need to get first and foremost. Now, what is common sense? Well, common sense is this. You got all these ridiculous, spoiled brat new generations out here. They all want to go to college. And, you know, not to say that college is a bad thing, because it's not. You always want to be able to make yourself more and more intelligent, if you will. And if that entails going to a university to do so, well, then go and do it. But no, you got these brats out here that are so spoiled, so pompous. They want to go out and go to the university that costs $45,000 a semester to go to. That's what they want. And what in the blue hell difference does it make if you go to a university that's $45,000 a semester prestige university name as opposed to some regular ass college? I mean, there really is no difference, folks. Okay, that's common sense. Knowledge is knowledge, all right? Just because you graduated from some ridiculous brand, all right, brand name, that's exactly what you become when you sell yourself out to these universities that are giving you the same damn information that every other college has, and it is charging you at least 10 or 20 times more than what a college would charge you. You know, what kind of sense does that make? Now, if you have yourself a scholarship to go to that university, well, by all means, folks, go to that university on full scholarship, okay? By all damn means, go to the university on full scholarship. But most folks don't. They student loan the crap. You know, out here, you got most of these Nimrods out here, on average, having about $60,000 to $70,000 in student loans once they graduate from college. That's serious money, folks. And once they get themselves a little $35,000 to $40,000 a year job that degree gave them, do they pay back the loan? No, absolutely not. They go out and you get the big plasma screen $3,000 TV. They go out and get the $250,000 house, the $50,000 car. Well, that's what happens, folks, and they put themselves more and more in debt. And then they wonder why in the blue hell they're in so much financial trouble. That's common sense, damn it. I mean, just think about things before you say them. Think about things before you do them. And we need to stop this ignorance. You need to have common sense. And, folks, the only other thing that you need other than common sense to break out of ignorance is the knowledge. And how do you obtain knowledge? You have to read, okay? I know, you know, a lot of people out here, because the public education system has retarded their creativity, critical thinking, and cognitive reasoning. A lot of these morons that have been, spit out of the public education system actually believe that, you know, they can watch a movie or watch TV and that's going to tell it to them. You know, I mean, these people, when they talk about reading, you know, they give you this look like you just killed their puppy. And it's ridiculous, folks. I mean, it's just you looking at words and reading them in your head, you idiot. That's all reading is, okay? And all you Nimrods that don't like to read, you're a bunch of morons. All of you are a bunch of morons. Don't like to read. Well, that's what's spreading around this damn ignorance, you piece of crap. Anyway, folks, this is a crusade to fight ignorance. We need to stop ignorance. Ignorant people are just way too abundant in society. Way too abundant. And I want to get your take on it. If you think that, you're not an ignorant bastard, or you think you are an ignorant person, give me a call right now, 646-652-4869. I mean, there's just massive amounts of ignorance out here in society, and I just don't understand why, since we live one of the greatest countries on the face of the planet, on the face of the universe. We have so much abundant ignorance out here. A lack of motivation to go out and learn something. I mean, it's just sad, folks. It's a sad day when you don't have people that want to go out there and better themselves mentally and intellectually, if you will. You don't have to be some intellectual, articulate jag-off to be not ignorant, folks. Like I said, have some damn common sense. And this is a crusade against ignorance, folks, and I beg you to join me on this. I beg you to join me on this. When you see some ignorant bastard saying something out of their ass, call them on it. There's a lot of people that just kind of sit there and just like, oh, yeah, okay, and agree with the idiot because they're in their house or having dinner or whatever the case might be. You hear somebody that's very close to you or it's an acquaintance of yours that says something completely out the booty hole. I mean, just completely ridiculous, off-the-wall, obnoxious, dumb, ignorant garbage. And what do most people do? They just sit there like jag-offs themselves. What you need to do, if you want to stop this ignorance, you need to call these people out and say, wait a minute, you stupid bastard. What you just said there is just absolutely wrong, okay? Now, why did you say that? Try to find out why they would say such a thing. If it's emotional, we'll say, look, stop thinking with your emotions, you piece of crap, and start, utilizing cognitive reasoning, critical thinking. If it's because of some general bias, we'll call them out for it and say, you know what, you're a biased piece of trash. Or if they're just dumb and they just spout it off because some other idiot told it to them, well, then you need to, take the nearest foreign object you have and hit them over the head a couple of times because you may knock a few screws back into place by doing that. Anyway, folks, I'm sorry that the chat room is not open right now because, this ridiculous Blog Talk Radio is having so many damn technical problems, I can't even start a damn chat session, for Christ's sake. And that's a big part of the show. That's a very big part of the show. You see, ignorance is even, infecting Blog Talk Radio, for Christ's sake. Anyway, 646-652-4869. This is a crusade against ignorance, folks. I'm sick and tired of seeing the majority of people being a bunch of ignorant pieces of trash. All right, and they're submitting to ignorance, folks. It's not like they're trying to get themselves out. It's not like they're trying to read a book or go to class or do anything to try to get themselves out of their own ignorant state. No, they're just embracing it. I'm a fat, ignorant piece of garbage. I'm just going to take it. That's all there is to it. Hey, what animal does Paris Hilton have on her crotch? I mean, it's stupid, folks. It's really stupid, and we need to wake up out of this ignorant fog that we're in, okay? Now, look, I'm pro-life, folks, and everybody out here knows I'm pro-life because, that's the purest form of murder, and I don't want to get into an abortion debate about it, but everybody knows my viewpoint on it, and that's all there is to it. But I think we are saving entirely too many morons in this country, with all due respect, all right? With all these safety laws and all this garbage, we're just saving entirely too many lives. I mean, out here in Texas, you can't even drive without your seatbelt without some, dumbass beat cop pulling you over and writing you a damn $250 ticket for the damn thing. I mean, what in the hell for, all right? I mean, why are we trying to save stupid people? I just don't understand why we're trying to save stupid people. I'm for the death penalty, folks. Everybody who knows me, I am from Texas, and let me tell you something. We put them away out here in Texas. Well, we ain't pussyfooting around when it comes to the death penalty. I mean, if you're an ignorant bastard that's going to go out and take another life, well, you deserve to die, and that's all there is to it. All right? I mean, you can be one of these little bedwetting liberals and try to hide behind the whole human rights issue, but you know and I know if you liberals controlled the damn country, you'd be killing off as many people as damn Stalin or as Mao Zedong. So don't give me this crap, okay? Don't give me this crap that I'm being, he's being harsh. Oh, look at him, he's a Neanderthal, he's a monster. I'm just being real, folks. That's all I'm doing. I'm being damn real. We're saving entirely too many stupid people in this country. All right, I'm tired of it. I mean, why are we saving people from themselves? Passing these ridiculous laws, to try to save them. All these safety laws, all this garbage. saving entirely too many stupid people. We need to start embracing, intellectual curiosity, knowledge. That's what we need to start thinking about. And if you're someone that, just isn't really a complex person, and all you want to do is just go to work, come home, have a beer, your wife, your kids, all the typical American family. If you're one of those folks, by all means, live that way. It's very simple to do so. It's actually very gratifying. I mean, as long as you have your family, you have something to keep you going. But one thing you do need to learn about, folks, is this American government. It's this American government that you need to learn about. It's your government, you piece of crap. Wake up. You need to start learning about the three branches of government. You understand how this bureaucracy works, how the tentacles go out on the federal level, state level, local level. And you need to understand your role in all this. You need to understand that you are in charge of all this. You elect these Nimrods out here. So do something about it. Participate. Now, how are you going to participate? And let me tell you how you really participate. You don't go out and vote. Okay? I mean, you're one person. Who gives a crap? I mean, do you really think these politicians are going to cater to you? No, they're not. Now, how do you make this political system work for you? Well, you figure out what are the top issues. All right. Well, first and foremost, you want to know what is the issue for you in general as a person. What is the issue that makes you mad when you hear the opposition viewpoint aired in your vicinity? What is that issue? What is that concept? You take that idea, you take that issue that affects you the most. All right? And I'm talking about that burning issue that'll make you throw something out the damn window. That's what I'm talking about. You take that issue and you figure out, well, is there any groups out there in America that think like I do? Are there any groups that think like I do about this issue that burns inside of me, the first and foremost issue? You go out and you try to find out, is there anybody that thinks like me? And if you find a group, go ahead and join it. Join that group. Find out who the group is, who founded it, their principles. And go out there and participate in that group. Because you know why? That's what gets the democracy that we live in going. The power is in the numbers, folks. The power is in the numbers. But you see, we have a public government-funded education system that is dumbing down America. They don't even know that they can participate in this government on a more intensive level to better our country, to better our society, our civilization. They dumb us down. You notice, folks, that they don't really give you much emphasis in public school about the government other than the three branches and a couple of dumbass presidents. I mean, don't you know that? This is our government. This is your government, you stupid piece of crap. This is your government, and you need to participate in it. And the reason I'm so mad about this, folks, is because I'm looking at the presidential nominations right now. These supposed presidential candidates are going to be running for the most important job in the world. These pieces of crap are all a bunch of liberals. That's right. And how did that happen? How all of a sudden did this damn country turn into a liberal piece of trash? We've discussed this many times, folks, and I encourage you to go into the archives right now, or after the show, not right now. Go after the show and listen. I mean, this was something that was purposely orchestrated. And they utilized avenues such as the blogosphere, the internet, grassroots. I mean, this liberalism has taken so many forms. I mean, they even do clandestine operations to make sure that they penetrate your psyche. The liberal media is involved in it. And you need to snap yourself out of it, okay? If you're a liberal, by all means, you're a liberal, okay? But most of the time when I have liberals that call up my show, they don't know their ass from their elbow, folks. I corner them on the issues, and what do? They stumble over their own tongue, and they try to play cafeteria history. And they like pulling things out of their ass that is a complete different subject matter of something that we're discussing right now. And that's what these liberals like to do. And don't participate in debate with liberals unless they're going to have some serious substance behind them. And most of them don't. Most of them, the only reason they're liberals is because some idiot told them to be a liberal. Some idiot told them that, hey, this is the greatest way to run society, and these idiots believe it. They don't have any idea what the issues are about, where the damn liberals stand on certain things. They don't know. And you can prove it. Just have a conversation. This is why I'm telling you, the reason I have this show is because I want people to talk about issues, folks. Go out there and talk to your family about this garbage. I talk to your friends about politics. Find out their perspectives. Find out why they believe the way they believe. Get to the technical crux of the matter. That's the only way we're going to be able to change America. You got to participate in it, folks. This is our government, damn it. Wake up. Stop being an ignorant fat piece of cheese whiz guzzling trash. Jeez. And I'm sorry, folks, if you're listening in and there's no chat room. Damn Blog Talk Radio Network. Technical problems once again. And I'm trying to log in. I'm trying to start a chat session here, and it's not letting me do it. And I'm sorry, folks, if you're listening in and you're wondering why in the blue hell I don't have the chat room up, well, thank Blog Talk Radio for it. Pieces of crap. Anyway, I'd like to hear from you, whoever's listening out there. Give me a call, 646-652-4869. If you're one of these liberals that are taking offense to any of the things I'm saying, I encourage you to grow yourself a pair, get on the phone and give me a call and tell me why I'm wrong, because I'm not wrong. I love America. I love the American Constitution. I appreciate the unalienable rights that were given to me by my forefathers. And you should too. Instead of worrying about, if Britney Spears is shaving her crotch or whatever the damn media tries to tell you, you need to stop looking at the media for any type of legitimate information or news gathering. You have the Internet. You can find anything on the Internet. Stop looking at pornography, you deviant piece of trash. Go out and read something on the Internet. Learn something. You've got a billion and billions and billions of libraries at your fingertips. Stop looking at porn. All right? Stop it. It's going to turn you into a deviant. All right? Stop looking at it. I mean, if you want to partake in that activity, just don't make it a consistent issue when it comes to getting on the Internet. It's going to turn you into a damn deviant. But anyway, like I was saying, now I think we need to just start this crusade, folks, and I hope you're with me. And you know what? I'm not going to be like these Nimrods out here. They're, hey, go ahead and, I'm starting this little group and, donate money. We need money. It ain't about that. It's a state of mind, folks. All I'm asking you to do is join me in a state of mind of non-ignorance. That's all I'm asking you to do. And what do you need? What do you need to join? All you need is common sense and the need and the motivation to absorb knowledge. It's not that hard, you read, you listen to people lecture, you hear people talk, you look at things critically, in critical observation. Everything. You got to learn something new every single day. If you're not learning something new every single day, what the hell are you doing here, with all due respect? Learn something. You don't have to learn something spectacular. You don't have to learn the world. You don't have to learn how to do calculus. You don't have to learn this crap. All you have to learn about is your government, because it's yours, you idiots. Jeez Louise. Anyway, give me a call. Somebody. 646-652-4869. I'm trying to start a damn chat session here. And of course, Blog Talk Radio Network, they've got their Kentucky Fried Chicken grease thumbs up their pie holes right now. Usually we have a lot of fun on this show whenever there's the chat room open. And I'm sorry, folks, if you're listening in and you're used to the chat room, I'm sorry. you have this dumbass Blog Talk Radio Network. You know, look, I'm not trying to disrespect it. I know that they're providing us a medium to participate in such events like we're doing right now. But, I mean, you know, try to hook somebody up. I mean, I do these shows on a consistent basis. You know, why don't you start, kicking people out that, make these shows and they never show up for them? How about that? Every time I look on the on-air around Blog Talk Radio Network, what do I see? Waiting for host to call in, waiting for host to call in. All right, you need to start looking out for these content producers out here that are actually doing something, that are actually better in this community out here, and not screwing them up with a bunch of technical difficulties, for Christ's sake. Anyway, sorry, folks, if I sound a little upset. I'm upset at a lot of things. I'm upset at the state of America. I'm upset at the absolute ignorance. It's all over the place. The stench of it makes me want to puke. I mean, they're just ignorant pieces of crap out here. I mean, if you don't believe me, why don't you take a look at the boob tube, which you probably already do anyway, and take a look at some of these talk shows. That's a good whiff of ignorance for you. I mean, Maury Povich. And I can understand the lore of Maury Povich. Believe me, it's absolutely hilarious. You've got these, of course, it's always some stupid bimbo that's out here, hopping on every Tom, Dick, and Harry that looks good in a leather jacket. She ends up bringing about 8 or 9 guys that end up not being the kid's father, for Christ's sake. And you can see the amount of ignorance. It's just sad, man. It's just sad, the amount of ignorance out here. And, I just don't know what to say, folks. I mean, am I off my rocker? Is some liberal going to call me up here trying to say that all the ignorance that we're seeing is social evolution? Is that what they're going to say to me? Because that's what they say to me after I talk about the American family being decimated. They try to equate that with social evolution, and I've already put people in their place, stating that the man who fathered the whole concept of evolution, Charles Darwin, he has been quoted himself as saying that his theory of natural selection was not pertain to the social conscience of man. It was meant for the biological evolution of everything on the earth. Now, do I believe in that garbage? Absolutely not. I don't believe in evolution. I don't believe it. I don't believe that humans came from a damn chimp. I'm not going to, are you trying to insult my intelligence here? I mean, chimps are morons. I mean, they're a dumb animal. They masturbate all day. I mean, they're stupid. You mean to tell me that, we evolved from a damn chimp? I don't believe that. And let me tell you, there's not even any geological or anthropology evidence that suggests that we are evolved from a damn chimp. Okay? You can look it up yourself. They don't know how we got here. All right? And let me tell you, I know that the geological dig shows a lot of it shows a lot of different things, I mean, it shows that, the world went through a lot of different climate changes. This is why I don't believe this global warming crap. And all you liberals that are trying to shove global warming down my hole, you just want to tax us for breathing. So why don't you just admit it and shut up, all right? All you liberals that are out there, trying to think that you're saving the world with this global warming crap, you're just wanting to tax everyone in the world for breathing. You should be ashamed of yourself, all of you. But anyway, back to the geological digs. I mean, it's been proven that we went through ice ages, flood stages, droughts. We had magnetic reversals, believe it or not, pole reversals. I mean, the whole 9 yards. We've had pole shifts. I mean, the geologic record shows this. I mean, it shows this, but it doesn't show where man came from, and I'm not going to believe in evolution. The whole point of this was the fact that anybody who tries to equate the decimation of the American family or the ignorance of America to evolution or social evolution doesn't exist, and anybody who tries to make the argument that social evolution exists is a moron, and they've never read Charles Darwin's theory of natural selection. They've never read the damn thing. They're just going by what some idiot told them, and this is what I'm talking about again. They're going by what some idiot told them. Hey, it's social evolution. They didn't read. They didn't understand it themselves. They didn't find out the answer themselves. Most of these morons out here are basically regurgitating words that they heard from somebody else. It's what they do, man. That's what it is. Anyway, get back to me here, 646-652-4869. I feel naked without the chat room, folks. I'm trying to get this damn thing on. Of course, it's not doing it. Not doing it whatsoever. And I just don't understand what in the blue hell is the problem over there at Blog Talk Radio with the little chat room. All right, all I want to do is chat with the audience, okay? I know there's probably a lot of people listening in right now. They usually don't like to call in. They like to observe the chat room, and they can't even do it, for Christ's sake. Anyway, folks, this is a crusade against ignorance, but let's talk, let's make a segue from that. We all know that ignorance needs to be gone, and I hope that you, as an American person, does your contribution to stop ignorance. And how do you stop it? Well, point it out. Make it open. If there's some ignorant bastard that's trying to make themselves sound smart, in a group of people, and you know that he's just absolutely wrong. If you know, and you read it yourself, if you know he is absolutely wrong, well, call the bastard out on it. Make him look like a buffoonery, all right? Make him look like a buffoonery. Because that's the only way we're going to be able to stop this damn ignorance is if you make people that are stupid look stupid. Because it's going to make them think twice before acting stupid. I don't know. And I'm trying to turn the damn chat room on, but it's just not happening. But we're going to segue into something else here real quick. Let me just go ahead and take a call. I feel kind of naked without the chat room. Let me go ahead. 419, you're on the air.
Hey, Ghost, this is Heather. How's it going?
How you doing, Heather? Well, I feel, like I said, kind of naked without the damn chat room going on here. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, I know. It's been, Blog Talk Radio just needs an overhaul, I think. But I had a couple of things that I wanted to bring to your attention that I found out just yesterday.
Okay.
It's very disturbing about just things that the government is doing and they're not announcing, and I didn't know anything about these things even happening. The first thing is that on February the 14th, Valentine's Day, Canada and America signed an agreement that either country can come into either country's borders if a civil unrest were to happen.
What does that mean?
It means that, like, if there's a terrorist attack or if there's a civil, like if people were to get disorderly,
sure,
and the federal government has, the military has to get involved, the military of Canada can come down here. I did not know that happened. It just was, I know that there was like
Are you kidding me? Is this true?
This is true. I can't put it in the chat room. But
I was going to say, put up the link to the chat room, but this damn Blog Talk Radio is being a jerk ass.
No, yeah, I was just going to say, I'm going to put it in the chat room, then I realized there isn't one.
I know.
But I'll put the links in your comments for your show. I'll put the links.
Okay. I can't believe that's happening. Is this, who signed this? Was this Congress or?
Yeah, it was signed. No, it was signed between the president and both presidents of America and Canada and Texas on February 14th of this year.
Oh. So basically, if something happens, we can have Maple Leaf Canadians coming over here pulling guns on Americans.
Yeah, pretty much.
Every time the news just doesn't get any better, does it, Heather? It's just more and more garbage coming out, and it's because of the lack of participation in government by the people.
Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and post the link. It's from the Vancouver Sun-Times.
The Vancouver Sun-Times. Well, that's a pretty good source. Anybody can, search for that through their search engine of choice and look up that article. You said, do you know what the title of it is?
It's going to be called Canada-U.S. Pact Allows Cross-Border Military Activity.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And how is the president able to get away with this? Is he utilizing some of those resolutions that were passed during 9/11 to
I think
basically? Go ahead. No, I was going to say, is he utilizing certain presidential powers to bypass Congress to do something like this? Because Congress at one point in time actually had the authority to make the decision on such treaties or agreements or anything of that nature because it needed to be debated. But I don't know. I mean, this is getting scary. You got the Second Amendment being trampled on out here. You've got this news, which I just heard. You got the I-35 NAFTA superhighway being built here in Texas. You got the possibility of a North American Union. You got a devalued dollar, a struggling economy. I mean, it's pretty bad. I mean, this is why I've always suggested that this election that we are in right now is probably the most important election of the future of America. But the bad part about it is what do we have? What choices really do we have?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's really, I mean, for me, it's going to be Ron Paul, and then I'll just suffer the consequences later because it's just going to be the same stuff. It's just like, because every party, the Democrats and Republicans, like you said all the time, they're like, McCain is like 2 issues away of being a liberal. And we have Obama, who is essentially using Hitler-esque tactics to get people's attention because he really doesn't say anything. And
he really is, and you see, that's why I've been critical of him. He has said absolutely nothing, and yet he's got the crowds going wild out here.
Absolutely. It's like everyone can't get enough of nothing. And that's what's really scary. They can't get enough of nothing. I mean, it's out of control. And the other piece of, I guess, breaking news, I mean, I find it very scary that ever since 1995, the terror watch list here in America has grown by 20,000 people every month.
Oh, gee, are you kidding me?
Yeah, and this is very scary to me. That I'm going to post that link as well. I mean, it's like 20,000 people in America are potential terrorists.
20,000 people a month. I mean, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. 20,000 people a month since April of 2007 have been added to the terror watch list. Oh,
man. Let me tell you, I'm a pretty big loudmouth. I hope I'm not on there. I mean, all I'm suggesting is to stop being ignorant and participate in the damn government that the forefathers gave to us. I mean, that's all I'm suggesting. I'm not suggesting anything of any type of action, or I'm not telling people to go out and march or anything like that. What it comes down to is conscience. We need to just participate in the government before the interests that are manipulating the government, because our lackadaisical approach to our job of participating in the government are passing legislation that's going to be beneficial to the parties that are basically puppeteering the government. Absolutely. I mean, that's the fault with democracy at this point. And you know, I think this actually could be a paper written by some brilliant intellectual, whoever wants to write it. But you've got to look at what's going on here in America. I mean, this is a transition. And the reason that we're having such a transition, in my view, is because democracy itself has been manipulated. And, of course, I don't know this. I'm just speculating based on all the observations and everything that I'm hearing in today's news. The reason that it's making such a hostile transition towards, corporate interest, more government in our faces, stuff like that, is because the individuals that are manipulating power have the means and the resources to be able to do so. I mean, and the only way that the American people are going to be able to keep this machinery of government in check is if we start going out and hooping and hollering about this stuff. But the bad part about it is most people don't want to read. They don't want to know the issues. They don't even care. As a matter of fact, most people don't even care about what happens in the government because they don't know. They don't want to know. And you see, the thing is that that's our government. It's everyone's government up in here. Now, I agree that I'm going to just leave my presidential vote blank because I'm not voting for any of these people. But, I mean, participate at a local level, and then once you're local, get regional. Once you're regional, you're federal. And I urge all people that the power is in the numbers. I mean, you need to take whatever issue is at the forefront of who you are and figure out if there's groups already existing that believe in the same issue that you do or the same persuasion of that issue that you do, and join them and participate actively with them. because the more numbers you have, specifically in a regional area or a local area, I mean, you can influence politicians. I mean, that's all there is to it. You can just say, hey, look, you either, give us some attention or we're going to vote for the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
And you get results. I mean, the civil rights movement is just I hate to keep bringing up the civil rights movement, but it was definitely a pinnacle of the people's movement right there.
Definitely. And I think that it's at the point now where if people haven't woken up, they're going to be rudely awakened, and that's going to be really unfortunate because a lot of people don't see what's coming. I mean, there's so many distractions. There's distractions in terms of even if people are going to keep their jobs. So I guess most people just really don't have the opportunity, unfortunately, to look at the issues in terms of what's going on. And it's sad because the media should be telling us this, but you see there's two stories here that, even you haven't heard before. So,
Exactly. I was watching the mainstream media here. You know what the hell they're talking about? They're talking about, Hillary Clinton raising $35 million last month.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or for the month of February, excuse me.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, how did she do that?
That's what I'm saying. They've been talking about it all day, that now she's appealing to the small donors, and I don't know. It was just a real big, ridiculous story. And, of course, they kept, going into the stump speeches of Hillary, Barack, and McCain whenever they were out here. They're all in Texas right now, which makes me sick. But,
Close for comfort.
Yeah, they really are. The people that are going to ruin the country are here in Texas.
Yeah, absolutely. But like I've always said, I always urge people to actually know what's going on as much as you can. Because it's like, these are very serious times that we're living in when we have almost 1 million people on the terror watch list. Who are these people, and do they know they're on the list? Is the list public by any means? Let me see. It doesn't mention that if it's public in the article. I still have it open, and I'm not seeing in terms of like the list of people. It could just be, the government giving a total of the people. But I see. Yeah, with the Patriot Act, I don't even think that they would have to tell you that you're on the list.
Believe me, I know.
It's like I don't know where to go. If I were to leave America, I don't know where to go.
There is no place to go. Everywhere else is a damn socialist government out here.
Absolutely. And it's like we're being pushed into that.
And we are. We're already going down that road. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you heard the president talking about his stimulus package. He was making a suggestion, or he didn't make the suggestion, but people were making the suggestion to him that there should be a stimulus package too.
Oh, wow.
And, this is going down a road of socialism, man. When the government starts giving us money to spend, that's just not right.
Where is this money coming from?
Well, once again, it's coming from China, obviously, because they're the ones with all the money. They're the ones with all the industrial base at this point. So they're the ones generating revenues off of manufacturing to the world. And what are they doing with the money that we're borrowing and we give back to them via buying Chinese goods and that sort of thing? Well, they're buying nuclear weapons and pointing them right at us.
Absolutely.
That's great.
We need to really get our sovereignty back, or it's going to be done. I never thought that in my lifetime, that I'm 29, I never would have thought that I would see the decay of America so quickly. I thought it would happen like over maybe about 10 presidents, like it gradually, but it's like it's snowballing out of control, like over just the past 6 months.
No kidding.
I feel like I'm on a ride and I want to get off. It's like I'm ready to get off because I don't like it either. I can see why people want to just be, ignorance is bliss, I guess.
Well, that is the concept, that ignorance is bliss, and I guess that's true to a certain degree. But gosh darn it, man, this is our government here. You're not going to be able to participate in a lot of the activities that everybody's come to know and love out here if we continue to have government being implemented in our faces. I mean, it's bad enough that we have cameras everywhere now. We're starting to look a little bit more like Britain over there. You know, Britain's got a camera on every damn corner of every damn street, and out here in Texas, they're starting to do that as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Do they have cameras out there where you're at? Like cameras, maybe on telephone poles and?
Only at the, the traffic lights and stuff like that, but no general camera, system or CCTV here at all. Yeah,
it's getting pretty bad, in America, in my view.
Oh my God, it's like I don't want it to be like this. I mean, I want free to be free to do as we choose, as long as we don't bother anybody else. And now it just seems like we're being forced, and we're all becoming sheep into something, and to build America into, an EU or the NAFTA, whatever it's going to be called here in America. I'm not sure what the name was supposed to be for, bringing Mexico and America and Canada together.
It's called the North American Union. That's what it's going to be called. It was actually a thought, something that a think tank thought up, and before you know it, it looks like it's coming to flourish in my view with all the trade deals. Because if you look back, and I've done my research, here since I've been broadcasting about the EU, that's exactly how the EU started. The EU started with a bunch of trade deals and nonsense like that, and before you know it, this whole new EU concept came to flourish, and a lot of the countries that are a part of the EU, the people didn't want to have anything to do with it, and yet they're still a part of it.
Wow.
I mean, it's getting pretty scary out here. I mean, I just want it to go back to the way it was, to be honest with you. I just want America back.
Oh, definitely, because I know that I was reading, when you do read that article in Canada about how the what's it called? The militaries of the two are going to mesh. Even Canada's like, what? We need to stop this. And Canada's worried about their sovereignty. And
absolutely.
Yeah, even the major newspapers are like, what is going on? And why are we? And they didn't get word of it until the 23rd, and it was signed on the 14th. So
unreal.
It's like a lot of the same crookedness that's here is up in Canada. People are worried up there. They want to be their own country. To quote Ron Paul, I think we should try our best to be amicable with people, but we should have our own sovereignty. We are our own country. It's not that I know that I voted for Bush in 2004. I will just say that, but if I knew what I knew now about even what was going on in 2004, he would have never gotten my vote. Because I just feel that us as a nation, we are spiraling out of control. And I think that at this point, our least concern is terrorism. Because I feel that with all these new laws and all these things that are coming to fruition, it has the potential that we will self-combust. Nobody's going to come in and do it to us. We're doing a lot of things in secret. And especially with that NAFTA superhighway, I am absolutely terrified when that goes into place, because I know that you said on your show before, and I've read online, that a lot of people, their land have been in their family for up to 150 years or even longer. That's
absolutely.
To mess with that land. People are going to be mad.
And it's because of the new eminent domain laws that have come into flourish because of a Supreme Court ruling, I believe. And now the government and corporate business now can come in and take your land away from you if it's going to be, quote, unquote, better for the community.
Oh, my God. Wow. See, I know when I was in school we talked about eminent domain. It was just basically the federal government. They had to put a good case for it. But people are trying to put a price on land that is essentially priceless as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I don't have land like that, but I can see wanting to keep your roots there. And
absolutely.
People are going to start shooting at these people that are trying to move them out of their house. And then it's just going to come off looking in the media that these people are crazy. But they're not crazy. I think they have the right to fight for their land.
I think so as well, because, it's getting pretty out of hand out here. And I'm glad that we have the Internet, but like I've suggested in this show and previous shows, that nobody really utilizes the Internet for a true information and news gathering tool. These people are out here going out, viewing all kinds of pornography for 8 hours a day, or getting on the Internet chat community and becoming deviates. They're participating in this activity when, they can actually utilize all the information and knowledge that's at their fingertips and just read it. I mean, it's just fascinating how much one can learn just at a sit-down session and searching through the Internet for knowledge.
Absolutely, and I hope that people can take the issues that you're talking about and the two stories that were just mentioned and look into them further, because it's getting really hectic and scary right now. And it's like at the point with the economy, it's like I feel like I'm overreacting because I'm the only one who's doing this. I'm like literally thinking, like, do I go back home to Ohio as soon as, because it's going to be, people are going to lose their minds, because a lot of people, they sense something is coming, but they don't know until it happens at this point. So it's like people need to be informed so that you can know what steps you need to take, because there's going to be a lot of movement. It's not just that the economy has collapsed, but you may have to actually, move around. I mean, it's going to be very hectic. People are going to be scared, and it's going to be, I think it could potentially be 50% unemployment in this country. And I don't see
it doesn't. I mean, that really doesn't seem unplausible at this point. You consider all the factors, and this is what I tell people, don't just take my word for it. I mean, go out and look for yourself. I mean, we have a devalued American dollar. You got the euro that reached its highest point in value yesterday. I don't know how much I don't know if it went up today or whatever, but we've got, we produce nothing as a nation. We have a mass amount of ignorant people. And, of course, if you want to be liberal about it, if you don't want to blame them, you can blame our public education system, the liberal media. There's a lot of tentacles of propaganda that are in the faces of American people, and that's why a lot of them lack critical thinking, lack any type of cognitive reasoning, just common sense, is because we have all these mediums and all these different tentacles of propaganda manipulating the American mind, in my view. And you just mentioned the media. The media can frame up the story and make it look like something completely different. Mm-hmm. And that's why I don't look at the media and take anything I see on TV as legitimate fact. I don't ever do that anymore, because if you do, you're just going to be just as mindless as all these other nimrods that are out here walking around half-witted, thinking they know it all when they don't know anything. And we need to stop this ignorance. We need to encourage people to go out and read, go out and get on the Internet and search for knowledge. And first and foremost, if you don't want to learn about anything else, learn about the damn government and learn about how it works and how you can impact it. I mean, if people would just come together politically, whether they're left, on the right, whatever the case might be, if people would just get involved, I think that we would see a little bit less of the garbage that we're seeing. Because the bottom line is they don't want unrest in America. They don't want that. As much as you got a lot of people out here like Alex Jones and these real outlandish conspiracy theorists who say that people are going to come down from the sky and, take us all from our homes and put us in concentration camps, which I think is a bunch of nonsense. But it's just a gradual process, though. I do believe we are going through a transition. I don't think it's what Alex Jones is saying or any of these other conspiracy theorist nut jobs, but it is something corporate, with corporate interests in mind. And when I mean corporate interest, I'm not talking about American business. I'm talking about multinational corporations. I'm talking people that have interest not only in America, but in other bigger markets than America. Mm-hmm. And I think that, it may gradually turn into a transition into something completely different based on these principles, not based on force. Now, I think that force will be used at some point if people just start taking a whiff and seeing what's happening and, get a little upset and have civil unrest. Mm-hmm. I can see the military coming in and doing something, but I hope that day never comes.
Yeah, I do. I agree. I mean, I need to do some research on who Alex Jones is, because you're probably like the fourth person on Blog Talk Radio to mention his name, and I still haven't looked at his
the only reason I know him is because I'm from Texas and he's from Texas. I mean, he's a real outlandish, he's kind of a scaremonger, in my view. I mean, he sells a lot of videos and books, and you know, he's a 9/11 conspiracy theorist, and I mean, he's just an all-around conspiracy theorist, not just specifically on 9/11. He's just everything. I mean, everything you can think of, and I mean, he puts it and he packages it in a situation that we're all going to die. You know, that we're just all going to die, and you know, the powers that be, you know, want the New World Order, and the New World Order is going to come in from the sky and, you know, lock us all up, and, you know, really outlandish stuff.
That's
but
is he talking like aliens or?
No, he doesn't believe in any of that stuff. He's actually basing the premise on big-time international business interests that are utilizing governments to suppress people. And look, I'm not saying that what he's saying in general couldn't be true. I'm just saying that he himself is not doing anything to better what his cause is. I mean, to be honest with you, and this is my criticism of him, is that he tries to scare people into believing some of this real radical garbage that he spouts off. As a matter of fact, when it was year 2000, and this idiot was on the radio. Literally, in my view, I thought that he was trying to start some sort of domestic unrest because of the year 2000 bug. He started, you know, basically taking people's calls, and when the people were saying, you know, outlandish things like, oh, we don't have power over here in Pittsburgh, or, you know, oh, we just saw Black Hawk helicopters moving in, and he was actually taking these people's word for it, and he was, in my view, trying to incite something, and that's my only criticism of him, is I think that he's really bad for the whole conspiracy theorist movement, because it makes them look like a bunch of fanatics, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. If that's the type of tactics that he's using, with no real, I guess, resolution or way out, or, you know, trying to resolve the situation, then that's really unfortunate, because I mean, I've heard people say the things that he believes. I guess I would probably have to read into a little bit more, but he seems to be a little bit right on with the international interest coming into America. I think we can see that, especially with the amount of investments that China has in America.
Sure, yeah, and anybody can just do their own research and see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that he may be on something with that, but I think that with this list, I mean, the list of 900,000 Americans who are considered terrorists, I would like to know what warrants that list, because with that type of extensive list of people, then why are those 900,000 still here? I mean, it's just, for me, I know it's going to be hard to round up that amount of people, but if we have that many potential people that are that can do harm to America, I don't believe it. I feel like we're all being, if you show any level of dissent, I guess, I'm sure there's like levels of dissent that put you on that list, but if you are on that list by virtue of having an opinion, then that's scary to me. I would like to know who that list comprises of, because
absolutely,
that's really scary that it's that many people, and I just hope that we're not getting into a situation that everybody is suspect and just for having an opinion. And that's really scary territory for me. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Hopefully it won't be as bad as it already is. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I'm very, you know, the future really looks uncertain. And, you know, I've told people this. That's why I try to keep getting up on this Blog Talk Radio, to try to let people know that it is very scary out here. I mean, now, I'm not thinking that, you know, idiots are going to come in from the sky and take us from our homes and put us in concentration camps like these nutjob conspiracy theorists suggest, but I do believe that there is some sort of corporate interest involved in or creating a, how can I put it? I don't want to say a one-world government, but something that's suggesting to that. For instance, you already have the European Union that has consolidated all of old Europe basically into one single entity, and which is rather funny to me, because all these people that are in the EU basically fought for literally about 1,000 years to stay sovereign, and now they've just basically relinquished themselves into this EU. And I think that a lot of it has to do with the open liberalism and the embracing of socialism out in that region. That's why it was so easy for them to push forth this European Union garbage. But I think that at this point, what's killing us in America is ignorant people.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, we need to stop ignorance in its tracks. And like I said, you don't have to be an articulate intellectual not to be someone who knows something. All you have to do is have common sense and the ability to seek knowledge. That's all it is. And the motivation to do it, too. Not just, yeah, I can do it. Go out and do it. Put the fork down. Put the damn remote control down. Go out and read something that you don't know about, specifically about your freedom, about your government, about the American Constitution, about those sorts of things. Don't just sit back and expect the world to continue to go around without your contribution into a society that was created by you, for you. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely. And I wanted to ask you a question because about, I would say maybe a week ago, I listened to your very first show on Blog Talk Radio, and you were very pro-Bush. What is your opinion on him now? Do you feel the same way?
Well, I like George W. Bush, okay? But there's things that he is doing now that's making me not, maybe kind of take my words back. I mean, I really don't like the stimulus package. I think that is a bad precedent set by this man. And I think that we're running a slippery slope down into socialism. And I think that the only reason he did it was to basically burden the next president with the economic problem. As a matter of fact, he was trying to say today, Bush, he was on this morning, he was trying to suggest that we're not in an economic recession. And I think that's a bunch of malarkey. I think that needs to get real.
I was just reading that on Yahoo, but go ahead. So you didn't mention that.
He suggested that we are not in a recession, that we're in a slowdown, whatever that means. And I believe that we're in, at this point, we're in such a bad recession. If you take all the analysis of all the information that is utilized to define a recession, it's all there. A devalued dollar, lack of production, unemployment. I mean, do I need to go any further?
Absolutely.
The subprime mortgage crisis.
Oh my gosh. I was just watching a video on the subprime mortgage, and I hope people understand, because most people, they do the right thing and get into a fixed mortgage, which is kudos to them, because, the subprime is really something you don't really want to mess with. But there was a story of a lady who, when she initially moved into her house, her payment was $1,300 per month. And once her arm had to reset, her payment went up to $3,100.
Whoa, man!
Wow.
But you see, then again, there's been some criticism on whether or not to help people in those situations. Now,
I know.
What do you think? Do you think that we should help the American public keep in their homes? Because we are seeing a lot of foreclosures.
Unfortunately, I would say absolutely not. Because I feel like a lot of people, they opted for the subprime mortgage, they enjoyed the low payments, and then they went ahead and got a lot more debt from other places, be it credit card debt, be it, whatever debts there are out there. Even some debts that are beyond their control, maybe going to the hospital. But now, when their arm was set to reset, keep in mind that if I have this correct, when your arm resets, it goes based on your credit score now, not when your credit score was when you first got the loan. So they have worse credit than they had before. So now, of course, they're going to qualify for the highest interest rate. And that's really not anyone's fault but their own. You have to be, they should have been saving that extra money that they weren't paying on a mortgage and not, adding on all this debt. And now they are in the situation that they are. I say don't help them because we have no money to help them with.
Well, the criticism I have on it is, it comes out of personal responsibility first and foremost. And secondly, I think it's basically bailing out the companies that's basically put out these loans.
Yep.
I think that by giving people money to pay their homes, it's basically like funneling the money through the people back into the corporate America that made these faulty loans. And I was around when Reagan bailed out the savings and loans people, and I had mixed emotions about that as well. And I don't think that we need to be giving money to corporations.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, they have enough money as it is, and we'll give them tax breaks as far as the American government's concerned if they continue to prosper and keep their headquarters and manufacturing base in America. But as far as corporate bailouts, and I think that's disgusting. I mean, if we're not even going to bail out people, why in the hell are we going to bail out a bunch of corporations that have milked us for all we were worth to begin with?
Absolutely. I think that's going to be that's just going to pretty much put us in a deeper hole, and adding all of this into the other responsibilities that we have not to take a page out of the Ron Paul handbook of statements, but we have an entitlement system in this country that is bankrupting us all on its own. And then we have a war that we have to pay for, and then we have all of these obligations. We can't. I mean, it's too many homes. Like here in Chicago, in the city of Chicago, I live in the suburbs, but in the city of Chicago, just last year there were 70,000 homes that went into foreclosure just in the city of Chicago. I mean, we're talking billions and billions of dollars, and that I don't think we have. And I just wish that. I mean, it's not. People were borrowing up against their homes. They were taking out equity that really was artificially there. And it was only there based on the market. It wasn't based on like a time frame or, years and years where the house has been there. So it's going to gradually go up in value just based on inflation. But no, we have this artificial value in their homes that people tapped into. There's a lot of scenarios, and I say don't bail them out because it's not my problem. I live in an apartment, so it's not my problem. I think it's just we have too many things that we have our hands in at this point. The federal government, I don't know how we're doing it. I feel like we're like hanging on literally by a thread. I mean, I know that's an old cliche, but when you look at all the things that we're obligated to pay for at this point, we are on that thread, and it's slipping out of our fingers a little more every single day.
Yeah, I just don't know what to say, man. I wish the American public would be a little bit more awake when it comes to running this government, because it is our government.
Absolutely.
But hell, we don't even have personal responsibility for ourselves. What makes me think that they're going to somehow get enlightened and start taking responsibility for the government?
Absolutely. I agree 100%. I mean, the federal government is like the worst example of how to manage money. But I appreciate your time, Bill, so I'm going to go back to listening. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you, Heather. You have yourself a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
Well, you see, folks, I mean, those are some serious issues that Heather brought up there. I mean, you have the situation that is out of the Vancouver, whatever paper it was in. It was out of Vancouver, some Vancouver paper, and you can look in the archive and get the official paper name if you'd like to hear it again. But they reported that the United States and Canada have now made an agreement that in a case of domestic unrest or terrorism, that the Canadian troops can come into our country and basically have us at gunpoint, and vice versa. We can go into their country and have Canadians at gunpoint. It's just really sick, folks. It's really starting to be pretty sick. I don't understand why nobody else is hooping and hollering about this. Everybody just seems to think that, this America that we've come to know and love is just going to stay afloat without our participation. You're absolutely wrong. All right? You're wrong, and you need to take your head out of your ass. All right? I mean, that's the bottom line. I hate to be so brash about it. I hate to be so blunt, but that's why I'm on here. That's why I do what I do. That's why I scream my damn head off. All right, because I want people to wake the hell up and stop thinking that this, government is going to run itself. You have to participate in it, you damn dimrods. I mean, you need to take the information that's being that is being let out by every form of media. All right, and that's why you need to go out and take an hour a day and search to see what's happening. Search for real content, real news. things that affect us as American people. And you need to take an opinion on it, all right? You need to take a stance on it. And if you find something that the American government is doing that you don't like, well, take responsibility for it. Call your local congressman, call your senator, and tell them, hey, what the hell are you doing? Is this why we elect you? And tell your friends, tell your family to do the same damn thing. Because that's the only way that these government bureaucrats that are out here in Washington are going to be able to listen to you, because they could give two rats' asses really about you folks. They really could care less. They're more worried about their own political ambitions. They don't care about the American people. If they did, they wouldn't be doing all the nefarious activities that they're doing while they're sitting in the reins of power. I mean, what we need out here as a government is going to be for the people and by the people. All right, we need to elect politicians that are going to have our interest. And, you know, I just don't understand for the life of me why everybody is so damn ignorant. This needs to be a crusade, and this is why I'm starting it here today. We need to stop ignorance, folks. All right? Common sense, first thing that you need to stop ignorance is common sense. And the second thing you need is the ability and the motivation to gain knowledge. Read something. Do something, you morons. Anyway, folks, if you're tuning in with us and wondering why there is no chat room, well, of course, the Blog Talk Radio Network acting like a bunch of jerkasses out here, not allowing me to, talk on my chat room or not letting me start a chat session. So I just don't understand. I just don't understand what's going on out here. Anyway, I'd like to hear from you, okay? I'd really like to hear from you. 646-652-4869 is the number to call. Give me a call. Tell me what you think. All right, or do you think I'm off my rocker sitting here talking about all this ignorance? Are you happy being an ignorant piece of trash? Let me know. Let me know, and let me know right now. You know, I mean, I just don't understand. Anyway, folks, once again, I'd like everybody to give me a call if you have any issues that you want to speak of. I mean, I'm kind of emotionally drained by all the garbage that I'm having to sit here and witness and watch happen before my very eyes, and I'm sitting here watching the American people just tickling their ass cracks, not doing a damn thing about it. Now, why is that, folks? Can somebody tell me the root of all this ignorance? Okay, I know that the public education system doesn't spawn creativity. All right, actually, it retards it. It retards critical thinking. It retards cognitive reasoning. Okay, I understand that. Okay, but you are a person. You have your own mind. All you have to do is pick up a damn piece of reading material and read the damn thing. All right? What is so hard about that? I mean, what in the blue hell is so hard about that? I mean, asking somebody to read is like asking somebody to slide down a razor blade and land in a pool of alcohol. I mean, this is what I'm talking about, folks. I mean, reading's not that hard. I mean, you can sit on your fat ass. I mean, I don't understand. Is it the work? Because there is no work involved, folks, sitting on your fat ass and reading, okay? I mean, I don't mind that we're a fat nation, but it really concerns me and it really bugs me that we're a fat, ignorant nation. Ignorant pieces of trash. And all I want to do is spawn some critical thinking. I want to spawn some political debate because this is our government, folks. We got political candidates out here, all right? We got political candidates out here that could give two rats' asses about the American people. They're not saying anything. All these people are making vague statements, vague promises. Let's get specific. And you see all these town hall meetings, all these trips that these presidential candidates go to, these ignorant people don't ask them questions that are really critical. Because they don't know, because they're ignorant themselves. I don't know, folks. Maybe I'm off my rocker here, all right? Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. I mean, who in the hell knows? I don't know. But, folks, we need to stop being so damn ignorant, okay? And I know I keep harping on it, but this is my crusade, all right? Stop the stupid people. How about that? All of you repeat that after me. Stop the stupid people. Because they are what's ruining the country. And, folks, all I'm asking you to do is, if you don't want to learn anything else, just learn about your government, all right? Print out the Constitution. Read about it a little bit. Remember, our forefathers gave us the Constitution. They gave us unalienable rights. We don't want the American sovereignty compromised with any kind of North American Union concept, any kind of trade deals, or anything of that nature. All right? We need to bring jobs back to America, folks. And you see, it's real easy to say that as a politician. You notice that? All these morons are, oh, well, we're gonna bring jobs. Well, how are you going to do that? How are you going to do that when we're out here, over here in damn China? China forces their people. They utilize the guise of communism. They utilize the guise of communism to extort labor out of their people at 15 cents an hour. How is the American person going to compete with that? How are they going to compete with a manufacturing base that works for 15 cents an hour? You can't do it. So if you bring those manufacturing jobs back, well, that brings the price of goods back up. So what I'm suggesting to anybody out there, the only way we're going to be able to create a better economy is if we have a good president that leads, that knows how to lead, that takes all the intellectuals, the innovators, the chemists, the physics, all these people, makes them all go to a convention. And the president is going to be at the convention and say, look, I'd like for you all to figure out the needs of the international community, the needs of America, and figure out solutions for those problems. Put it down on paper. All right? And once you do that, I'll get the fat cats, all the big money men here in America, to invest in that, and all the profits that these big fat cats make from that is going to be tax-free. And let me tell you, that would spawn innovation like that in a snap. I mean, all this 90s economy. Remember the whole 90s economy? Bill Slick Willie Clinton likes to take credit for the American economy at that time. But he had nothing to do with that, folks. He had absolutely nothing to do with that. I mean, all he did was basically be the president at a good economic, prosperous time. What spawned the economic prosperity? The technological innovation of the computer, of the internet, of e-commerce, of network administration. All this crap is what created the American economy in the 90s. It was innovation, folks. That's what creates jobs, is innovation. Not sitting on your fat ass expecting a subsidy check in the damn mail from the government. Not sitting on your fat ass waiting for a stimulus package to come through. That's why we need some president that's actually going to lead this country. Because I'm telling you, folks, Americans don't want the government. They don't want the government giving them money. Now, I know that we have a lot of younger generations that would love to sit on their fat asses and just collect money from the government all day. But true Americans, people that believe in the Constitution, people that bled for this country, people that fought for this country, they don't want, and I'm telling you this, they don't want to be given money by the government. They just want the opportunity and the economic landscape that's comparable for them to raise their families, support themselves, put a roof over their head, put food on the table, clothes on their backs. That's all people want, folks. And right now, with this devalued American dollar, with the lack of production that's happening here in America, with the lack of jobs, it's becoming very economically shady, if you will. And none of these idiots that are running for president are talking about it. All I hear from the Democrats is that, oh, yeah, we're going to invest in green jobs. Green jobs. What the hell does that mean? What the hell does that mean? How the hell is that going to bring us money? You notice that they talk out their mouth when it comes to this crap, and yet they don't explain how the hell it's going to prosper America. Stupid, man. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And then they try to push this corn ethanol. You remember this crap? Corn ethanol? It's ridiculous. It raised the price of corn through the roof, for Christ's sake. Stupid, man. Wake up, folks. Come on, man. I mean, you can't be this ignorant. Or maybe you can. Who the hell knows? I don't know. All I'm saying is, folks, I'd like for you to join me. I'd like for you to join me in this crusade against ignorance. And what do you have to do? Well, all you have to do, folks, is two things. Have common sense, okay, and be able to absorb and seek knowledge and have the motivation to do so. And then when you see some ignorant bastard in a group of people talking out of his mouth as if he knows everything, and you know what he's saying or she's saying is an absolute lie, call him out for it. Make them look stupid. Make them look stupid in front of a bunch of people. That's the only way that's going to make people stop talking before they think about it. Stop talking about garbage they don't know about. Call them out for being an ignorant bastard. Because that's the only way they're going to stop, folks. That's the only way that's going to motivate them to read. When people start calling blowhard jerk-offs that have no concept of what they're talking about, once people start calling these people out, they're going to actually read before they talk out of their mouth. They're going to actually want to know what the bull crap that's coming out of their mouth, what they're saying is actually true. So it's going to make them go out and read for the sake of social interaction. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, this is a simple but yet hard to implement theory because everybody, we're so politically correct in this world. And, of course, political correctness is a method of agitation utilized by Marxist communists. You can look that up. That was a method written in Frankfurt University by those Marxists out there. You can read it for yourself if you don't believe me. But because we're so politically correct, nobody wants to offend anybody. Nobody wants to, hurt anybody's feelings or any of that crap. But I'm telling you, folks, if you want to save this country, if you want to join me on this crusade against ignorance, start calling these bastards out. All right? Start calling them out. If they say something that is completely stupid, if they say something that is so damn ignorant that you know for a fact it's not true, call them out. Make them look lower than a leprechaun's nutsack. All right, how about that? Make them look lower than a leprechaun's nutsack. Make them look lower than Roseanne Barr chasing after a greasy cheeseburger with her hands tied behind her back. Make them look low, man, because that is the only way that these ignorant people are going to stop talking. When a whole group of people are laughing at their ignorance. When you expose them for being an ignorant piece of trash, everybody's going to laugh their asses off at them. That's the only way that people are going to stop talking out of their ass. They're actually going to want to do some research. They're actually going to want to see if the crap that's coming out of their mouths is fact. I just don't get it. And this is all I'm asking from you folks. Common sense, seek knowledge, expose ignorant pieces of trash. That's the crusade right there, folks. That's all I'm asking you to do. Common sense, seek knowledge, and call out ignorant pieces of trash. Yank them out of the ignorant closet. There's a lot of people that talk, really intelligently, and they're articulate. They know a lot of big words, and yet they're stupid. I mean, they would probably drown a fish. They're so damn stupid. And why is that, folks? Because ignorance is bliss, like they say. But once the ignorance starts affecting everyone else in society, and what I mean by everyone else in society, I'm talking about everyone who's living in this American government, who's living under this American government. That's our government. That's the people's government. And the majority of the people are so damn ignorant. You have people voting for Barack Obama. Like I said, this lady called me up saying she's going to vote for Barack Obama because he's got nice teeth. You got other morons. It's just sad, the amount of ignorance out here. And there's older people, folks. It's not just young people. And I know I make a lot of criticisms of young people being ignorant and fruity-ass bastards and whatnot, but at least they have the time to change, okay? They still have time to change. Old pieces of ignorant trash, they don't have time to change. I mean, they've been ignorant their whole lives, and what's going to make them not be ignorant after 40, 50 years of ignorance? What is it? It's nothing. So we need to start yanking people out of the damn ignorant closet, and that's the only way we're going to stop ignorant people. 646-652-4869 is the number to call, folks. It's really sickening here. It really is. And for you folks that are tuning in wondering why I don't have the chat room open, well, unfortunately, the Blog Talk Radio Network is suffering yet again with some more damn problems and technical difficulties or whatever the hell you want to call it, and I'm unable to start a chat session, so I'm sorry. Please send all concerns about this subject matter to the Blog Talk Radio. I encourage you to do so. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about the political arena that's happening right now, even though I could give two rats' asses about it. But Barack Obama, John McCain taking pop shots at each other. John McCain, laughing at Obama, saying that you saying that there's no Al-Qaeda in Iraq? Well, that's why they're called Al-Qaeda in Iraq, some garbage. And, Barack Obama came back and said the only reason Al-Qaeda is in Iraq is because we invaded Iraq, and a bunch of nonsense. It's really stupid. And for one thing, I don't understand why the Republicans, and I'm talking about John McCain, is even taking pop shots at Obama at this point, because, and I've said this, and you can look back in the archives, folks, if you don't believe me, I've stated that, and I'll state it again, that Hillary Rotten Clinton is being underestimated. Everybody's anointing Barack Obama as the Democratic president, but let me tell you something. Do not underestimate the Clinton slime bag machine. Don't underestimate it, folks. I mean, they may even broker something under the table. You don't know. So anyway, another thing that concerns me is you got John McCain over here, okay? John Turncoat McCain, he actually invited some conservative talk show host out there in Ohio when John McCain was, I guess, giving one of his stump speeches to one of his many rallies. And according to this conservative talk show host, the John McCain people, before they went out, apparently this conservative talk show host was supposed to announce McCain into the stump speech, and it was actually supposed to help rile up the crowd, if you will. And according to this conservative talk show host in Ohio, he was actually encouraged by the McCain camp to give the crowd, quote-unquote, some red meat. So the conservative talk show host went out there and, started rallying up the old troops out there in the stump speech. And then he happened to make references to Barack's name, which I've always suggested, and I've always said it. You can hear it in the archives. I've always said it, his full name, Barack Hussein Obama. He said it on the stump speech. And now you got McCain himself bowing down to this political correctness crap. That's why I'm telling you, folks, John McCain's a liberal. What did John McCain do? He threw that conservative talk show host in in Ohio. He threw that conservative talk show host under the bus and said, well, we didn't tell him to say that. He's just a whacked-out nut job. We're sorry, Barack. Okay, the McCain camp, sorry. We didn't mean to say your name. Ridiculous. I feel bad for that conservative talk show host. As a matter of fact, I heard him interviewed recently, and it left such a bad taste in his mouth what McCain did to him that he's going to do an Ann Coulter. He said he's going to vote for Hillary Rotten Clinton because of what McCain did. And then when they asked McCain, did you know this conservative talk show host before you invited him on the stump speech? And, of course, John McCain, he's a lying piece of trash. He said, no, I've never met the man in my life. And yet this talk show host claims that he's met him twice, intimately. One time at a very good friend of his house, and that friend actually was a politician in Ohio. And another time when they were having dinner at some convention of some sort. I don't know the specifics behind that, but he had met McCain a couple of times, and that's exactly why they called him to do the damn introduction at the Stuff speech. But because the conservative only did what McCain's camp told him, giving the crowd some red meat by saying Barack Hussein Obama, and I've said it too, and I've said it. You can look back in the archives, and I'm going to continue to say it, because that's the name his mom gave him. And hey, if he doesn't like his name, he should have changed it. Barack Hussein Obama, and this is why I'm telling all you folks that are Republicans, that are old-school Republicans and true conservatives, don't vote for any of these people. Don't vote for John Turncoat Liberal McCain. Don't vote for these communist Marxists, Barack Hussein Obama, or Hillary Clinton either. All right? The presidential election is lost, folks. That's all there is to it. What we need to do is start bearing down and start regrouping, reorganizing the conservative movement, and start electing representatives at our state level, at our local level, at the congressional level, at the Senate level. That's the only way we're going to maintain power out here. Only way. It's frustrating, folks. I mean, it makes you want to throw things, man. The amount of ignorance that's out here. Good God. 646-652-4869. Let me see if this chat room will come back up again here. Of course not, it won't. Yeah, man. I'm sorry, folks. If I sound a little out of whack here, it's because, first of all, I don't have the chat room, which I kind of feel naked without the chat room, so to speak. And secondly, I'm just drained, folks. I mean, I'm just tired of coming up on here and just, not really seeing many results. And what do I mean by results? Results in the fact that instead of coming up here and badgering me, and of course I get lots of hate mail, folks, and all of you that have listened to me on a consistent basis, you know the type of hate mail that I get. A lot of death threats, a lot of garbage just because of my politics. But it's not satisfying in the results, and what I mean by that is spawning debate, critical debate, debate that will make people think. I mean, even if you're staunch on a subject matter, a good debate will make you see the other perspective, whether you agree with it or not. But, of course, we don't. And that's all there is to it, isn't it? That's all there is to it. We just got to sit here and take this garbage. But I'm not going to take it, folks. That's why I'm up here. That's why I'm trying to utilize this particular medium to try to get people to debate about subject matters, talk about issues that affect American people, all right, affect America as a sovereign nation, as people who appreciate and love the Constitution, the unalienable rights that were given to us by our forefathers. That's why I come up here each day, because I want to continue that. I want to continue the old-fashioned America. I don't want to turn into the North American Union. I don't want to get into imbalanced trade deals with international communities, people in the international community that are communist. I don't want to do that. I don't want to support China anymore, folks. And at the same time, we have so much debt. We have so much debt at this time, we need to recoup that debt. And one thing I've suggested was to tell these idiots in Iraq that we've liberated, we need to tell them that, hey, you need to get your act together, and you need to pay us back for this debt incurred from liberating your country. And how are you going to do that? Well, by that second largest oil deposit in the world that you got underneath the country. That's how you're going to pay us back. And you should pay us back with interest. Everyone who we've liberated has paid us back. England paid America back with interest for World War II. And they paid it all. It's exactly what the people in Iraq need to be doing. And, of course, none of the presidential candidates are talking about this crap. You got the left talking about cutting and running. You got this idiot McCain talking about being there for 100 years. What for? All right, what in the blue hell for? I mean, unless they're going to take those oil revenues and pay some of this damn debt incurred by this damn war, then why the hell should we stay there for 100 years? I don't mind staying there for 100 years if they're going to pay us back with interest, recoup the debt that we incurred liberating these people. I don't mind keeping a base there for that. But keep them there for 100 years just because is stupid. It's ridiculous, and John McCain should be ashamed of himself for saying that. I mean, all these candidates should be ashamed of themselves. They have no substance, none of them. All of them are very purposely vague. All they're doing in their stump speeches is saying regurgitated talking points like, yes, my friends, we're gonna kill the enemy, we're gonna kill the terrorists, we're gonna create jobs, we're gonna help the working people. I mean, you know, blanketed, dumb talking points that have no substance to them. That's all these candidates talk about, man. That's it. And it's stupid. It really is, man. I mean, can anybody else not see this crap? I just don't understand. Anyway, folks, we've got 14 minutes left here in the program. If you'd like to chime in about anything I've been talking about this evening, 646-652-4869 is the number to call. And I'm sorry once again, folks, for not having the chat room, but technical difficulties at the Blog Talk Radio Network have prohibited me from opening the damn chat room. And I'm going to try to open it again. And good. I was going to say, if it works now with 14 minutes left in the program, I'm about to throw this damn computer out the damn window. But, folks, this is a crusade. We need to fight against ignorant people. All right? Seriously. I mean, ignorant people is what's corroding America from the inside out. It's what it's doing, folks. And if you don't believe me, just take a good whiff of it. You know, won't you take a stroll through a social arena, a mall, something like that, and take a look at how all the ignorant pieces of trash out there that are walking around already half dead, not knowing that their government at this point in time doesn't have their interest at hand. As a matter of fact, they don't even know their government. They don't even know who their representatives are. I bet you they don't even know who the vice president is. I mean, these people are that stupid out here because they don't care. And I think people need to start caring, folks. I think people need to start waking up and start taking a good whiff about what's happening out here in America. I love this country. Do you? Do you love this country? Do you love the American Constitution? Do you appreciate American sovereignty every 4th of July? Do you celebrate it? I don't want to lose that, man. I don't want to lose the American way. I don't want to do it. That's why I'm up here, folks. That's why I scream my head off. That's why I do what I do. I'm not getting paid for this. I'm doing it because I want people to debate and talk about issues that affect America, man. We're American people. We should be worried about ourselves here. We shouldn't have this nonchalant approach to this presidential nomination that we have here. We shouldn't do that. We need to start demanding. If these idiots aren't going to talk about it, we need to demand them talk about it. We need to demand that they talk about subject matters of substance to us. Substance, things that are going to affect our lives. Like, how are you going to get jobs in America? What are you going to do to bring back the value of the dollar? I mean, the American dollar is so devalued, you've got high-end retail stores in America right now that will no longer accept American money. I mean, is this what we want, folks? Do we want to turn into like the EU or better yet known as the American Union? Is that what you want? Is that what everybody wants out here? Am I the only one that still believes in America? Has everybody already submitted to the fact that we're going to merge with Canada and Mexico? Is this it here? I don't know. I don't know, and you know what, folks? I'm just very concerned, man. Aren't you concerned a little bit? You can't tell me that you're going into the ballot booth. You're not going to tell me that you're going to go out and vote and you're going to be completely confident that we're going to be America again. You can't tell me you can go into the voting booth and be confident that whoever you nominate or elect as president, they're going to actually get the job done. And what I mean by get the job done is have the American people on the first thing on their mind. Not their own interest, not the fact that some lobbyist is going to give them, some odd dollars in their bank accounts. We need people that are going to worry about America and American people. And until then, folks, we are going to continue to see more and more the dissolution of America. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do turn into the North American Union and have a universal currency and have to start all over again. Oh, man. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I really don't. It's a really grim situation, folks, and I'm sure most of the folks out there are probably getting a little depressed. As a matter of fact, I get a lot of emails from folks that say they get a little depressed listening to me because they don't understand, as they didn't know, or whatever the case might be, about all the problems that I bring up on this show, folks. There's a lot of damn problems. That's why everybody wants to stay ignorant of the government, because they believe if they just ignore it, they're going to go away. It's not going to go away, okay? This isn't kindergarten, you piece of crap, all right? If you ignore it, it's not going to go away. The only way it's going to go away or change is if you are involved in the damn thing. And how do you get involved? Well, first and foremost, you need to vote, okay? But that's really least of the problem. What you need to do is organize yourself. Be a part of an organization or start an organization and try to gather up as many people who think like you on an issue that affects you the most. Go out and try to get as many people as you can into this group. And once you have the means of organizing all these people in this group, well, then you can become a political force on a local level, on a regional level, on a congressional level, on a Senate level. The politicians will listen to you because you've organized yourself. Once you organize yourself, folks, under an issue, you are just as dangerous as these corporations out here. Because the corporations, what they do is they give these politicians the money. So as a result, what are they going to do? Well, they're going to go ahead and have their interest at hand. But if you have a little bit more intelligent public who understands the bureaucracy of government, who understands how laws are passed, who understands how legislation is initiated, who understands all this, and you have a group behind you, you have some power. You have some legitimate power, because what you can tell the politician in a particular region, you can say, hey, look, we looked in your past legislation, and we've seen that you've passed this, which is against our interest. So do you still believe that? And if that candidate says yes, well, then just say, well, you know what? Me and my members are going to go and vote for the other guy, and we're going to do whatever it takes to get you out of office. We're going to protest at your. We're going to hold signs against you at your speeches. We're going to pass out leaflets about your legislation. That's what we're going to do. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just getting crazy. Maybe I'm getting a little haywire or something. Maybe I'm getting a little too patriotic for America, but I don't think you can. I love America. You should too, folks. This is the freest society in the face of the universe. All right? People need to understand and read a little history. Read about how people were really oppressed back in history. Read a little of that. You want to live back then, folks? You want to worship some crown? And if you didn't worship some stupid crown prince or crown princess or queen or king, you were beheaded. Or you were killed. You were sent to the Iron Maiden. You were tortured or some crap. I'm sorry, folks. I know. I can just imagine what the listeners are just thinking to themselves right now. They're thinking, oh, man, Ghost looks like he's about to crack. He sounds like he's about to crack. No, I'm not going to crack, folks. I'm not going to crack because I love this country too much. And you should too. Because this is our country. And if you don't believe me that the people can change America, just take a look at the civil rights movement, folks. The civil rights movement is a perfect example. That's just one specific movement. I could give you a whole bunch throughout American history that have turned the tide of America. But that's the only way you're going to make a change is if you organize yourself. You see, you got these idiot independents out here. And I don't mean to discredit you if you're an independent. I mean, hey, you're an independent. But don't be pissed off when you're just an independent idiot and you don't have your particular political perspective represented in the government. You've got to pick out the issue, the most important issue in your life. You need to pick it out, and you need to find out if there's an organization that believes in that issue, or you need to create it yourself. Once you have the numbers, folks, you have power in your hands. Don't you understand that? The politicians are going to have to listen to you because they don't want a big group of people talking against them. I mean, when it comes to election time, they don't want a big group of people saying all this nonsense about them. They don't want groups of organized people spreading pamphlets about their legislation. They don't want that. They want to be reelected. They like power. Okay, and the only way they're going to get reelected is if they have your group's vote and not talking negatively towards them. And that's what I'm talking about, folks. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, folks, we're 4 minutes and counting down. And once again, I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank everyone who listens. I genuinely appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Whether you like me or hate me. I mean, people that hate me, hey, I really appreciate your patronage too. Because I'm making you think, and you know it. You want to know why I know I'm making you think? Because my politics, and my politics is just mere words, folks. I'm not out here protesting or getting arrested in a protest or anything like that. I'm just one man just talking. And you see, people that hate me are just they're so threatened by the things that I say that it gives them the fury and the rage and the motivation to email me nothing but a bunch of hateful letters, hateful emails, threatening emails, because they know I'm right, folks. They know I'm right. And deep down inside, I'm sure everybody does. Anyway, folks, I really thank you for tuning in with me this evening. And I encourage everybody who's out there to email me up, and you can get back to me on the webpage, blogtalkradio.com/ghost. That's GHOST. And by the way, folks, I'm going to be starting a new blog, and the blog is actually going to be on the same page. It's no longer going to be at the Blogspot location. It's going to be on the same page as blogtalkradio.com/ghost. So I'm going to be starting blogging on that here very shortly, so keep up to date with that. And at the same time, I'd like for you to call in, or excuse me, not call in, but email me, and let me know what do you think I should do as far as the time constraints are concerned. Do you think that I should broadcast in the evenings, midnight, during the day? I want to hear from you folks. I want to hear what time you think I should be broadcasting on, because I care about your listenership, believe it or not. I care about you listening to me because we need to stick together, folks. People that have common sense and intelligence, we need to stick together. We need to discuss these issues. All right, we need America to start waking up and take their heads out of their clogged up colon holes. This is what we need, folks. And that's all there is to it. And once again, I encourage everyone to take a look at the archive whenever you're bored one night. And at the same time, bookmark www.blogtalkradio.com/ghost. Please bookmark that because we have a lot of goodies that are going to be posted on there in the next few days. And I hope you appreciate it. And at the same time, folks, I just got involved with this whole MySpace stuff. So if you have a MySpace, by all means, hook me up. MySpace.com/ghostpolitics. That's all one word, no underscores or anything like that. MySpace.com/ghostpolitics. And once again, folks, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening to me. But once again, all I ask from you is to spawn debate. Talk about these issues I'm talking about here this evening and on every other show. Just talk, man. Try to gauge the American psyche. Utilize the observations of life and try to understand what in the hell we're doing out here. That's all I'm talking about. And by all means, we have a share option on the blogtalkradio.com/ghost archive. I encourage you to share some of these broadcasts and email them to folks and ask them what they think about it. Say, hey, what do you think about it? What do you think about the issues said in this show? That sort of thing. And start talking. That's what we need. We need more political discourse. And that's the only reason why I'm up here, folks. Anyway, thank you very much. We are signing off. Of course, we are going to have a show tomorrow. I just don't know what the exact time is going to be, so bookmark the page. And I hate to keep saying it again, but bookmark it. blogtalkradio.com/ghost. That's what you need to do. www.blogtalkradio.com/ghost. Hook me up, and we'll see what's up. Until then, long live the conservative movement and death to feminism. Thank you very much, folks.
Boar's Head is bringing a slice of Japan to the deli. Introducing Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. Tender, slow-roasted chicken breast, coated in our signature teriyaki glaze, where ginger, garlic, and a hint of brown sugar meet for a flavor that's both sweet and savory. New Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. The bold flavor of Japan. Now at the deli. Only from Boar's Head. Compromise elsewhere.